Motherhood, sex, marijuana.com. Yes, indeed. Season 4. We back in the dough, and you better let us in. Yes. Make sure you bookmark this site, motherhood, sex, marijuana.com. And of course, when you want to get some cute cannabis gear, you turn to shop.spreadshirt.com/MSM gear. Of course, we are having a sale at the moment, but by the time season 4 kicks in, we might not be having a sale. But either way, you should support. You should be checking out season 4, and you should be in the door with us, cause motherhood, sex, marijuana is back, bitches. Ha ha!
Hey ladies, 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 beautiful ladies, beautiful ladies. Hey ladies, 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 beautiful ladies, beautiful ladies. Yo, to all the ladies in the place with style and grace, embrace
Motherhood, Sex, Marijuana, the podcast proudly presents Fuego 420 magazine. Make sure you check out Fuego 420 magazine. The featured blog stories are right here. Make sure you are checking out each blog. Make sure you subscribe to this magazine. Motherhood, Sex, Marijuana, the podcast humbly requests and recommends this magazine as a great read. Well, hello.
Hi.
Hello. How are you? All
Good.
right.
Congrats.
Yes, we are in the building. Motherhood, Sex, Marijuana is in the building. Now, let me go ahead and explain that Ruby is part of this podcast. She is currently putting her son down for a nap. So,
Okay.
you know what I mean? So, she got to do the mother thing before she gets to the podcast thing. So, while we wait for her, we'll definitely start the show, because you know what I mean? We don't want to, waste our time and things. And at the same time, you're literally going to be like the last show of season 4. So we're just going to kick it off the best way possible. And so thank you for even reaching out to us and wanting to be on our show. Thank you so much. So now I'm going to be quiet and go ahead and let you introduce yourself.
Oh, no, thank you. Well, I'm DiiJai The Singer, and I am on the cast of season 3 of On the Way Up Atlanta. The show airs December 7th, and I'm just excited to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, now see, the funny thing is that I actually, I went to, when you at first contacted us, I went to a couple of your episodes, and I watched it, and I was trying to, definitely catch the feel of the show. So is it basically like just a variety of just like a lot of different personalities? It's not just like the regular, reality shows where it's just, everyone is just, like, let's say like like a Real Housewives of Atlanta kind of thing. It's not just like that, and it's definitely not the regular just, everybody is just on one thing. It seems like there's just a whole lot of variety of personalities going around. So it's a different take on things. So get into that.
Everybody on this show individually does something. You have singers, you have actors. There's a guy on our cast who played in Beyonce's band for Coachella. So he's the only one on the cast of the Grammys. So you have a wide range of people on this show, and they all individually bring something to the cast for the greater good of not only themselves, but the community as a whole. So it's definitely a reality show. You have your drama, but everybody, for the most part, it's just about everybody trying to achieve their goals, achieve their dreams, and we are all in a work in progress. We are all on the way up, pun intended. So that's what the show is about.
And see, that's the thing I like about how, you know, your show excuse me, your show is coming off, because a lot of the reality shows that are, you know, are famous, they all come off very scripted. They all come off like it's not real, and the name of the game is reality show. We're supposed to be talking about real life shit and real life experiences. So is that what y'all bring to the table? Do y'all, or is there a script, and we kind of we know that there's somebody that's supposed to be the bad guy, somebody that's supposed to be the hater, somebody that's just going to be extra drama, and we're going to have to beat that bitch ass? How are we doing this?
I will tell you, sometimes I wish our show was scripted, but this is all 100% real. That we have, the troubles, the hurdles, everything is real. This is happening in real time. No producer was there to tell us, oh, you need to beef with this person, or you need to say this, or jump in this scene. Like, it was all authentic. This is nothing that is made up.
Wow, that's good. I'm not gonna lie, because you know what I mean? I think reality show actually started out where at first, you know, they were talking real life, but then somehow, some way, you know, producers jumped in, and then there's writers, and then all of a sudden we got, you know, we got a whole, you know, season going, and then after the season ends, people jump on their Instagram and say, oh, that shit wasn't real. We wasn't real. None of that shit was real. And it's like, well, damn, like what the hell was it then? You know what I mean?
There's a whole subgenre now of scripted reality, and I'm like, how is reality script? Like, that doesn't even make sense. That's an oxymoron.
Exactly.
But then also, you know, just the people talking about, oh, well, this wasn't real, or this didn't happen. I hate that narrative about reality, and I hate when people are just like, oh, well, I blame editing. No, you can't blame what you didn't give. It happened. It happened. It might not have happened the way that you intended for it to happen, but it happened. So I'm just one of those, you can't blame on editing what you gave. You gave that, it did happen. We did see it. You saw it, and just stand up in what you did. It's okay.
You know what I mean? But yes, we're gonna take a minute to bring in Ruby Doll. Yes, we obviously got the sun down for the nappy nap. Yes, let's introduce ourselves.
Hello.
Okay, so this is wait, because that's one thing I wanted to check in and say, because I figured I would be the first one to murder the fuck out of your name. So
DiiJai The Singer.
Is it DiiJai, or is it DiiJai?
No,
shut up.
No, you're fine. I get it all the time, so I'm just like, okay, I still have work to do. It's pronounced DiiJai The Singer.
Oh, DJ. Okay.
Yeah, I used to DJ parties, and I also did radio. So people used to call me by my radio name, and so they would never call me that, but they would always shorten it to DJ. So I was like, well, DJ I am, you know, and it's just like, you know of a DJ, but what does he do? You couldn't just be DJ, because it could be anybody, you know, but DiiJai The Singer, because that's what I do. That's what I started doing.
Beautiful. Singing is not easy. I've tried it many times. So I think I'll stick to rapping in the meantime until I can get those octaves. And so thank you for embracing us with your presence. How did you hear about? How did y'all link up?
Well, remember he reached out to us to try to basically, obviously, to not only promote himself, but to promote the reality show that he's doing on YouTube. I myself, I definitely, you know, checked out a couple of episodes, and see, that's what I like, the fact that, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't just a LGBT type of show. It was everybody was in the mix, and you know what I'm saying, everybody's clearly, you know, whoever's connected obviously is connected, and it's a real reality show rather than what we got on TV now. Because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I watch these shows, but at the same time, I'm also in the back of my head, I'm saying to myself, I know that they got some good writers and some producers that are definitely you know, telling them or you know, putting batteries in their back, because of course they, after, you know, the show is over or the season is done, then they jump on Instagram or jump on their stories and say, oh yeah, no, I wasn't really beefing with that bitch, or you know, or I really don't like her or whatever. And it's like,
it's all watered down.
What happened on the show is not what you're talking about right now. But you know what I mean? So he was basically explaining that his show is actually real people with real drama and real connections. So nice. it's nothing fake shit.
I love that.
They go there.
Okay. And so this undertaking, it's huge. Okay. It's not easy to do any kind of production, let alone a reality TV show with a bunch of motherfuckers. So did you get funding for this, or how long or how many years did it take for y'all to set this up?
So the show has been running since 2018, since before the pandemic. And so we're going into our third season. I had a couple of cameo spots on season 1 and season 2. Season 2 was filmed during the pandemic. So just being in that environment and seeing how the production crew has gotten, you know, endless support, and even like you mentioned, some level of sponsorship. It's just been interesting to see them come up as a business or as an overall organization. And that's really what the show is about a bunch of individuals came together to put their lives out there and really display what it is that they do, and just display their journey, their dream, or just to achieve a certain goal. So that was really the overall basis of the show.
Now,
so I was glad to come on for season.
Now, my first question to you is, because just like celebrities, I'm pretty sure you have people that, you know, have criticisms, you know, not whether it's people in your life that you know, or just random motherfuckers that like to jump in people's comments because they ain't got nothing else better to motherfucking do. They just sit around and troll a comment and find something to criticize, no matter what it is. What's your take on that?
So here's my thing. It's very interesting coming into this space. I've never done a reality show before, nothing like this. I've done cameo spots on Love and Hip Hop, and I've done different things here and there, but just doing my own, it's a completely different experience than what I have never met you. There are people that are literally out trying to thing. For me, I just choose them. Their existence is invalid. So life goes on. I'm still gonna be great. You're talking about me, so that's gonna draw more attention to me than I was already getting. So you actually did me a favor. So continue to talk. Just make sure you tell the truth. That's my thing. Just
I like that.
Hey, you already know that, you know what I mean? The bigger you are, the bigger the gossip. I mean, shoot, let's keep it real. They find a reason to talk about, just even when they don't see you online, they find a reason to talk about you. Perfect example, what they did to Spice. I don't know if you know Spice, the reggae, she's a dancehall reggae singer. And literally all she did was go on vacation to Dominican Republic, and next thing you know, motherfuckers had her in the hospital. She was dying. She went and got some old fake butt surgery. It was like, bruh, she was just on vacation. Like, calm the fuck down.
People say anything. It's the craziest thing to me. I just don't understand. People are bored, and they have nothing else.
And
have
as
no fun.
long as there's affordable telephones out there and free phones, everyone's going to have access to the internet, free Wi-Fi. Anybody's going to have access to the internet. And I think that's important for anybody releasing content, or whether you're just posting a picture of, intimate picture of like your family, a photo shoot that y'all did, you are up for scrutiny. And so it's like,
Mhm.
hello, look at the world we live in. You can't boo-hoo over that shit. And if you're not,
Yep.
and if you are, then you're not, you probably should reconsider putting so much out there. So I really do give you kudos, you and your team, for putting your shit out there. We do the same
Thank
thing
you.
on here. It's just without the fancy production. Because this is very much reality, man.
This has been something impeccable. Literally, like I said, they've gone from one camera person, or just two camera people, and so now they have multiple camera people. They have drones.
Okay.
We film from certain scenes from our iPhones, and it looks amazing. It's amazing what you can do with an iPhone, good lighting. So it's really been an experience to just watch on both ends of the camera. How these things come to pass, how much is taken out during editing, but what goes on behind the camera as well. People talk about editing. We'll go here. People talk about editing, but it is very interesting to watch a situation build up versus watching it on an actual premiere or watching it on an actual episode. And it's like, oh, y'all took a situation that took like an hour and a half to build up to literally minimizing it down to 5 minutes. This is interesting how y'all got here. So it's a lot, but again,
Well,
like I said, you
well,
don't get.
I guess it works as long as it, the point of the scene comes across regardless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's a situation where it's like, we're cutting off, important information that could explain the scene more or make the scene more dramatic, it's like, what we doing? Well, let's not do that. Let's not do that. But you know what I mean? But again, the editors make the last cut. But you know what I mean? But so where exactly do you or is this show going? Like, are we trying to keep it on YouTube, or are we trying to maybe hit a Bravo status or anywhere in near that?
So to be honest, as far as I know, production would love to go to a major network, or they're willing to partner with a major network. Their thing is eventually they want to branch off into their own thing, almost kind of like what Ludacris did with Disturbing the Peace. Like he signed on as a partner, but was able to distribute through his own label, and then eventually his label broke off into their own thing. Right. So that's kind of what we're looking. Ultimately, our thing right now is we're still building an audience. We're still, we have 5,000 subscribers, but we're still building. And so people still, we're allowing people in while we're on the come up until, we achieve a certain level. And then y'all can say, oh, we remember them from YouTube, and now look at them. They're on VH1.
Right.
They're on B.
That's beautiful. So, more power to you. So do you incorporate any of your music into this project?
Absolutely. You will see me on this show. You'll see me with my family. You'll really get more into who DiiJai The Singer is. But you'll also see me working on my album. You'll see me planning my video shoot. We didn't get a chance to get that on camera. I was also in the process of planning a listening party / live show, which didn't, because just couldn't get it all together during the filming schedule, but we are planning to do that in future seasons. But you'll definitely get more music throughout the season. I have a new single that actually drops at the end of the premiere called Masturbation. I'm so proud about it. My mom is upset about it, but it's so.
Wait, that's the name of the song?
It's about damn time someone named a song that.
I mean, if we must get to the point. If we must get to
that is the name. I felt like male singers. They're boxed in. They're afraid to say certain things because they're afraid it's going to make them look a certain type of way. But masturbating is a real thing. It is a thing that all humans do, especially when you can't get your regular to pick up the phone. You don't feel like leaving your house to go to that sex party. You don't feel like, some random hookup sliding through. So you do what you need to do.
Any kind of social anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, regardless.
And see, it's funny that you mentioned that too, because I actually mentioned it on the show one time, and or I don't even remember. Maybe I didn't. Who knows? But we're gonna talk about Spice again. But Spice was literally on Angela Yee's show, and she actually told some kind of old Jamaican tale about how, you know, masturbating it brings on some kind of ghost, and the ghost is having sex with you, and the ghost gets in between your relationship, and it's like
well, he better be eating that pussy. If he's gonna be here, you better do something.
In 2022, why would you repeat that? I mean, yes, because you know what I mean. I know how to, you know what I'm saying. Black people, we have our cultures, you know what I'm saying. We have our beliefs and shit like that, you know what I mean. But why would you even say that in public, lady, knowing damn well that
you're gonna look a little crazy.
Is literally a healthy thing that people need to continue to do to release stress, to do exactly what you just said, to not be in these streets roaming when you shouldn't be roaming in these COVID streets, baby. Roam who? Roam where? No, stay your ass at home, figure it out, and then go to sleep. That's what you need to do. Exactly. It's a healthy self-love type of thing. Why would you in 2022?
I'm a firm believer. We all are.
Right.
So no, that's amazing. Do you have your own?
Oh no, I was saying I wanted to do something empowering. I felt like, you know, people, like, as it was stated earlier, like, people, it's a taboo topic. People don't talk about it. And so I wanted to put at least title it something that people would be like,
automatically catch people's eye.
Get that clip. Get that clip.
Let me do that's about. So
do you also produce your music, or do you have a producer?
I have a producer, and I also outsource for producers everywhere. If it sounds good, I want to. So I don't really discriminate when it comes down to production.
Okay. And do we have children? Any thoughts of children? Since
no.
You know. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Kids, no. Listen, no kids. House, no pets. It's just me.
Hey,
I would
enjoy that.
And we love that. We love when people are honest about certain things. Yes. Like, no little people around me. I can only pay for my bills. No.
Yeah. Hey, man. No, you got more money than I do. That's for damn sure.
What other projects are coming up?
Definitely. It's all good.
Projects are coming.
Oh my
Some other projects are coming. Like I said, I have that's coming right after the show ends. So that'll be next year. We also have some other visuals. I'm working on a couple of other things. There's a really big announcement. I really want to talk about it right now, but I can't because I haven't signed my paperwork. But be on the lookout, because I have a really, really big announcement that is coming, I'll say, in a couple of weeks. Hopefully I'll be able to tell you guys before the end of 22. And that's the big one. So you guys are a lot more this season.
I'm looking forward to hearing that.
Doing in the kitchen.
That's and just in advance, we're going to go ahead and say congratulations, because it's in the air. Yes. It's coming. You have claimed it. That's it.
There you go.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? But what now, as far as other YouTube shows, have you been on any other YouTube shows?
So as far as any other YouTube shows, I have not. I've done maybe a cameo drop on, I don't know if that's seen Made Chasing Atlanta. I don't know. But I've been around. I've been around during the filming of some of these other shows. So you may see me in the background just randomly doing something, but just as a cast member, no. But I wouldn't be closed off to the idea, because I definitely think I have a very interesting story, and based on what I've been told, I'm very entertaining. So
yes, you are. Of course you are. You got that light, that spark. And I was going to say, you mentioned Atlanta. I imagine this is filmed in Atlanta.
This is
And I
100%
feel,
filmed in Atlanta.
you know what? Correct me if I'm wrong, because I've never been there, but I feel like if I was there, I'd be having a lot more sex. Something just
Yes,
tells me.
in Atlanta, everybody's having sex. I think it's great. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think more people should have sex, if we'll be completely honest. I
Oh
think there are a
my
lot of people,
God.
and I feel like they need a release. They need somebody to touch on them. And
Oh
so,
my gosh. Because I'm in
come on
Portland,
down,
Oregon. And
let your girls.
you guys have heard where you're like, it's been proven or studies have shown that if you're in a certain geographical area, you might be more
Mhm.
attractive than others. I'm not making this shit up.
That is,
So I was like, man,
this is true.
I be feeling ugly out here in the Pacific Northwest. Ain't nobody trying to get at this pussy. And I know I'm not ugly.
No, like, I did not believe fine until I moved to Atlanta, and actually people were in my face telling me are fine. And I'm like, me?
Yeah. I
Me?
just get that feeling. I just get that, like when you get this like intuitive thing, when you hear what I've heard from
Oh
other
my
people
God.
that are natives there, I'm like, I need to get me some Atlanta dick.
Yes.
Mm.
Come to Atlanta.
Now,
Come to Atlanta.
I myself, I've been to Atlanta a couple of times because I've written a couple of books, and so I've done some book tours in Atlanta. Atlanta definitely is a fun place to be. And you know what I mean? And if you know people, you can get around, pretty good. Now, I didn't really do too much partying out there or anything else. Shut up. Or anything else. But, you know what I'm saying? But it definitely, based on TV, it has given me the impression that, first of all, it's definitely black Atlanta. It's definitely like a black, Hollywood. It's definitely giving me the things are quite expensive. I could tell that, you know what I mean? Things are quite expensive, but at the same time, depending on, what you're doing, if you have your hands on a couple of things, you could be, you definitely making the kind of money that it takes to live out there. I'm assuming, just based on how it looks. Now tell me, am I in the right level, or am I a little off?
So here's the thing. So I have my best friend and I stay together, my roommate, and I absolutely adore him. You're gonna need somebody. Unless you are making it like that, you are gonna need somebody moving out here, because it's expensive. Everything's expensive. I was just telling somebody a minute ago, just to go to the grocery store and get, almond milk, some eggs, some turkey bacon, some Ezekiel bread, and some red potatoes is like $100. It's unreal. Inflation is unreal. So I would definitely, just thinking about it from a financial perspective, even if you do make it like that, get you somebody that you trust, that you can make with, so you can stack some money, because it's expensive out here.
You know what I mean? And I definitely see it's not, because first of all, I'm gonna explain one thing. Me and Ruby met when I lived in Seattle. We used to live in Seattle together, but things change. She's in Portland now. I'm in New York. Now, New York City, you can, at 4 o'clock in the morning, if you want to go somewhere, you don't need no car. There's buses, there's trains. You know what I'm saying? Never mind, there's thousands of cabs that's gonna pull up on you like, what's up? Where you going? You know what I mean? Where you going? You know what I'm saying? But I know for a fact, for the little time that I was in Atlanta, you definitely need a vehicle. Is that true?
That is true. I would highly recommend having a vehicle. It would benefit you, because if not, it's going to take you 2 hours minimum to get anywhere.
Oh, damn.
Whoa.
Okay.
It's going to take you minimum 2 hours to get anywhere. I'm telling you, because literally, like, we love Marta and all that she brings. However, Marta is not the most efficient thing in the world.
I can imagine. Because it was like that in Seattle. It got a little better once they decided to run on Sundays, but still, the buses, it's like you stand, you can stand at the bus stop, and if the bus don't show up, it's like ain't nobody there to explain to you why the fuck why the fuck, why the fuck? You know what I'm saying? You just standing there. You feel me? But in New York, no, it's a little different. You just something gonna show up regardless of what. Something gonna show the fuck up. You know?
Right, something's gonna show up.
I love New York too. I feel so alive. It's definitely a vibe. So DiiJai, like you must have the most spiciest life. Like I just can't even. I don't know. I'm getting this vibe, right?
Get ready, because she
Oh,
might ask you a spicy
I
question.
don't think you guys.
No. Please understand.
I go there.
I like to get up in your business. That's for sure.
We can go.
No, but I just want to know, like, this question is not a crazy question. It's just like, do you feel comfortable sharing a very wild sexual experience with us all?
Yes. The question is which one?
The most greasiest, nastiest, filthiest.
Well, whatever you feel like sharing, that's not gonna get us sued. I'm just saying.
That's not gonna get us sued. Okay, cool. Cool beans. I was young. No, I'm kidding. We won't tell that one because I was of age, but I shouldn't have been doing that at 18. I will tell you this story. So I was working at a sex club. I was working security at a sex club. And my shift was over. I had gotten off early enough to where, you know, if I wanted to party with the patrons, I could party with patrons. And so they knew me as the chill security officer. Like they'd be behind the facility, fucking behind the dumpsters and stuff. And, you know, I'm supposed to report this stuff, but I'm just like, cover your ass. So, you know, real chill about it. So I go in, jump in the shower, you know, wash my work stuff off of me, whatever. Because like I said, I've been walking through. I've seen a couple people that, you know, I tap that. And go in. I go to the back deck. You know, it's everybody on the back deck is naked. Like we got hookah, we got a bar, we have marijuana, you know, and we all love marijuana. So, you know, you get it. So, you know, I'm out there puff, pass, woo, 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 woo. And so it became, long story short, this puff pass became, you know, me being one of the puff passers. I was being passed around like a carton of cigarettes and I was okay with it. And so literally that was my night, but that was on my bucket list before I was just like, you know, maybe I should try to date again. Before I was just like, you know, let me see if a relationship is in my future, you know, let me get this orgy off my list. And I'm out to say that I did get it off my list, and I don't feel bad about it.
Man, that's still on my list.
God damn it, that's the first time on Motherhood Sex Marijuana that orgy was mentioned, and it wasn't you, Ruby. Say word.
I know, but it's always me. It's always a desirous thing. Like I don't have a story to share. I can't wait to share my orgy story because it will happen on here.
It's gonna happen.
Yes, I'm gonna let it come to me as the universe is, you know, hearing my manifestations and my vibrations, accept it, because it's gonna be under very comfortable environment. It's gonna be nice. I'm gonna be treated like the queen, you know what I mean? Or a fuck doll. I could be queen, fuck doll, rag doll, towel that you just come into. Just
Lord have mercy.
You know, whatever you want me to be, I'm okay.
I mean, whatever you want.
I like you. I want to come. I want to come. That's why we're here.
Yes,
that's why we're here.
And
hey,
Kai, my sister Kai's always invited, even though she, you know, on the conservative end.
But stop inviting me to fuck shit. It's going to get me killed. Are you fucking kidding me? See, this is another thing that she be trying to do. Invite me and shit. Talking about now. And I'm like, nah, you know I can't. The fuck wrong with you? The fuck wrong with you? No.
It's always
we need the ratings.
We're ready. We were ready. Okay.
Oh,
exactly. I love it.
See, this is your partner. See, this is your friend right here. This is the girl.
You're my spirit animal.
You
know what I'm saying? Like this is, you know what I'm saying? She come to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? She will be hanging out with you. You feel me?
Come on.
Oh, come on. It's automatic at this point.
What we do. Come on. I got you. Good hand.
So, and I'm glad to hear that, you know what I'm saying, we are you know, marijuana friendly. So
Yes.
what's going on so let's find out what's going on in Atlanta as far as marijuana. Do we still have to go to the plug, or are we trying to, you know what I'm saying, are we trying to
Not legal
get
there
to the
yet.
place of dispensary? I'm
Let
gonna
me
tell
tell
you
you
right now, well,
something.
of course you already know how Portland is. Portland is on the West Coast, so of course they welcome marijuana, as they should. New York is not supposed to have dispensaries, but you know, New Yorkers don't really give a fuck. The weed gotta be sold, weed gotta be smoked. You feel me? That's how that shit goes.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But how is Atlanta doing it?
So in response to Atlanta not having legal marijuana, my reaction is this.
Right.
Exactly.
Just so many
Like,
things.
boo.
Aren't y'all like on gold? Like, don't y'all literally live on the gold?
I just want to know what's taking so long, because you know, I don't want to get my person in trouble, but let me just say my plug delivers to me, and on occasion I will go pick it up. But you know, yeah, it's just, I honestly feel like there are other things happening that require more attention than a plant. I feel like, now granted, you know, I voted, so I can complain. But if you ask me, I think we have the wrong people calling the shots.
Yeah.
Probably get in trouble for saying that, but I could care less. These are the facts. I don't know. I think when it comes down to politics, I think certain parties have gotten comfortable to certain people being in certain positions, which is why they are afraid of making adjustments. But I honestly feel like there are some adjustments that need to be made, because once those adjustments are made, we can go ahead and legalize marijuana, and we can get to the real issues, like people trafficking. Let's start there. You know, we
Thank you.
Exactly, because
you know,
at the end of the day, you know, it's all about I think honestly it's about the bottom line is it's about the dollar. You know what I mean? Every state that has not made a decision on it is trying to figure out, okay, so how much we gonna tax these people, because you know they're gonna be buying it, so we gotta get our money. No, because fuck that, we gotta get ours. So how much we gonna ask for? You know what I'm saying? Because that's really what's going on with New York. New York, the spots are open. They don't give a fuck. The entrepreneurs are in these streets, but at the end of the day, you don't know how much to tax these entrepreneurs. So you mad that they making money and you not. Fuck you.
Capitalism is going to be the fall of the human race as we know it.
Yeah.
Like, because why are we, and I just said this earlier today, I think it's so ghetto that we are paying for necessities. Why are we paying for lights? Why are we paying for water? Why are we paying for shelter? Why are we paying for food? Like, these are things that should come free. I can understand, you know, paying for gasoline for a vehicle, that's one thing, but we're talking about necessities. I can pay for insurance for my car. Right. You know, I can pay for insurance for this place of shelter. I get that, but we're talking, you know, real issues here.
Livelihood.
Exactly. And like you said, you went in a supermarket and spent, you know, a ridiculous amount of money. I said the same thing to my husband the other day. I was standing in the egg aisle staring at the eggs for a hot minute, because the egg said $7.99 and $8.99. And I'm looking at the shit like, wait, do I
There's
really want eggs, motherfucker? Because this is kind of fuck Riz robbery shit is this? The fuck?
There's no 5 box of cereal should be $7. Almost $8. There's no reason.
No reason.
It's $8.
No reason.
You just need to put it under the cart and not scan that shit. That's what it comes down to at this point, because that's what I do.
It's unreal. It's unreal.
You know what I'm saying?
And this is why we endorse marijuana, because of stressful situations like this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why we need it.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, I'm looking at people like, how you gonna tell me that my weed is not a bill? It's a bill. It's a bill I pay faithfully.
It's called healthcare.
It's healthcare. What? It's healthcare. The hell?
And I ain't gonna kill you today, Care.
No, I ain't. No, I'm really not gonna cuss you out today, because I'm high as fuck, and I'm gonna pick up these $8 eggs. No, I'm gonna pick them up, and then I'm gonna pick up that $8 pack of turkey bacon. Yeah, because now I don't eat pork, so I'm gonna pick up the turkey bacon, and you know what I'm saying. And I'm gonna go on and pay y'all and get the fuck up out of here.
Man, oh man. So like as far as like income streams, how many income streams do you currently have or that you're aspiring to?
So I'm aspiring to have multiples. I will definitely say I do work a full-time job. I also am
So do we.
I work a full-time job. I do
It's just
background
another bag.
Yeah, it's another bag. I do background singing as well. I also have an OnlyFans.
Oh,
So
shit.
I well had let me use past tense. I don't have it anymore, but I had an OnlyFans, and so that was a stream of income. I'm just open to whatever, and I understand. People are just like, oh, well, all money isn't good money. Yes, that is true. However, I also am a believer in perspective. It's all in how you see it, and it's all about the intention behind it. For me, it was a bag. I'm good at throwing dicks, so there you go. You know, there you go. And so because I'm great at it, and because you will come 9 times out of 10, why not make money doing it?
And the
People
fact is,
Exactly.
somebody's gonna pay me. Why? Who?
Who's gonna stop you? Yeah.
See, my thing is it's all about judgment. At the end of the day, when the light bill comes, when I pay it, they don't ask me how I got the money.
They don't care how I got it.
They really could care less what I did, how I did it. How, you know what I'm saying? All they're gonna say is thank you and be on time next time. You feel me? Like,
right.
You know what I mean? So
it's irrelevant to the point. And the reason why I asked you guys is because we literally, between the three of us talking right here, we'll probably do like a billion things. Yeah. So I did this exercise where I wrote down all these like different ways, whether it was like reselling books or reselling garage sale items, all these different ways that I could make money. And that's why I don't know why I mentioned income streams, but I think it's important for us, especially being so passionate and artists, to make sure that we're always getting our bread no matter what. Because one thing I never want to be is broke. I just don't like it. I don't know. I don't have that humility factor where it's like, oh, God wants me to pay this, to have this burden. No, fuck that. What the hell? Ain't no God of mine's gonna want me to be hungry.
Yeah, so I'm used to being judged for any and everything, but at the end of the day, my resolve has always been fuck them people, because they are not paying. They are not paying. Like it was said earlier, Georgia Power doesn't care how you made the money. Constellation Energy doesn't care how you made the money. My leasing office does not care how I made the money, as long as they can cash it, and as long as it adds up at the end of the month, they care. And you're gonna get a notice, pay it, you're gonna get a notice, it's gonna be documented, but just moving forward, they don't care. They don't care how you made the money. And really and truly, people will always have something to say. People always have something. If they have money, they're going to talk. If you're broke, they're going to talk. If you didn't have any income, they would talk. And ultimately, as long as you know who you are, and as long as you are comfortable with the choices that you're making, everybody else's opinion is irrelevant. People will.
Exactly. Thank you for that. That's it's so like refreshing to hear such conviction and strength, especially from a handsome, melanated, because I love melanated anything. I recognize its power. I recognize how that y'all are really just naturally better than most people that aren't melanated. Let's just say it. It's a shame that this matrix does what it does to you, but every opportunity we get, we're celebrating that. So thank you. My Queen Kai, she's the same thing. She's fierce, she's a beast, and we're leaders, so thank you for that. What would be your advice? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm just so excited about this conversation.
I'll add that in after the question. Go ahead. What would be my advice?
Okay. Are you fluid in your sexuality? Or are you heterosexual? What's your take?
You know what? So before we get into that, I will say this. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you so much. I think there's a lot of power in just being As you stated, there's a lot of power being whatever race, but especially being who I am. I wouldn't want to be anything else. I couldn't see myself doing or being anything else. If I could die and come back again, I would want to be Black. There's a post going around on Instagram. It basically says being Black is dangerous, but it's lit. It's dangerous, but it's lit.
Exactly. It's
lit. But as far as to answer the other question, so I honestly, as far as my sexual preference, for me, I'm just one of those people. I just don't believe in that. I just believe in, you like what you like. For me, I've been on both ends of the spectrum, and cool with it. It is what it is. I honestly think both people or more people should be on both ends of the spectrum. I think you'll find out a lot more about yourself. And you'll find that most people are probably living a lie. So, yeah.
See, that's the one thing I wanted to say when you before you asked your question. I wanted to say that I was like, because right now, first of all, Black people get beat up on a regular basis, and never mind Black men. And, especially, it's you hard pressed to hear a man that not, first of all, knows himself, knows, emotionally inside how to express emotion, how to express himself with intelligence and clarity. You know what I'm saying? It's rare that you even get that, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, just being vulnerable and just being real with it, like, yeah, this is me. This is how I present myself. It definitely gives off the impression that, whoever you meet, you don't, you're not sitting around pretending with that person. You let them know, listen, it's like this. And, if I'm with you, I like you. And, you know what I'm saying? But if I'm with that, I like that. So, you know what I mean? It's all clear. It's all on the table. And I think in 2022, you definitely gotta be ready to do that. Like the hiding this, this sneaky link life. No, put it on the table. Put it on the table, and let's see how the person, deals with it. How they willing to take it. If they not willing to take it, they'll get up and move. You know what I mean? But at least one thing, they respect that you was real with them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Whatever their situation, whether if they're willing to accept it or not. So you definitely is giving off the impression that somebody it comes in your circle, and you're planning to be take it to that level. You're going, everybody knows what's going on. There's no hidden agendas. There's no secrets. You know what it is.
Moment of transparency. My entire life, I said this earlier, but my entire life, I have literally been judged and ridiculed just for being who I was. My favorite color as a child was pink. I would rather listen to songs on the radio and learn the songs on the radio than play sports with the rest of the kids. I had no desire to be athletic in grade school. I was cool in drama, dance, and chorus. So been eccentric. I've always stood confidently in what I liked, regardless if other people disagreed. I will also say, I think it's very sad that as a culture, but also just as a people, that we still live in a time where people can't be who they are. Like, how are you a human? We're on the same level. The only thing that really separates us is sex. And really, if you strip away sex, race, religion, and everything else in between, we are all the same. How does someone who is the same as I am get to tell me who I can be and why it's okay or not?
Exactly.
It's not okay.
How do you get to tell me? And then how do you get to break me down because I'm different from you, or because you don't agree with who I am or who I've chosen to be or who I know myself to be? How do you get to do that? So I appreciate the compliment. I will tell anybody, this is work. This is years of therapy. This is years of unlearning things that were taught to me. Even going back to the song Masturbation, I love to do it. Because I know what I like and I know how to please me when nobody else can. As a child, I was taught that masturbation was wrong. I was taught that you're not supposed to touch yourself in any capacity. Right. And I remember nights that I would spend half the night on my knees praying, you know, for God to change me or take, you know, those feelings away from me because I was taught that it was wrong. But here's put it on the scale. Would you rather please yourself, or would you just be out here fucking a bunch of random people and end up with God knows how many STDs, what STDs, don't know where you got them from, and you spend every week at the health clinic? You know what I'm saying?
The first option.
You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. You know, I love a little what, hey, just like anybody. But at the same time, you know, it's about balance. It's about control. So, you know, my thing is, this is work. And I've gotten to a place of comfortability, a place of, you know, loving who I really am.
Exactly. That point right there. That point.
It shows.
That part.
I didn't. For years I didn't. For years I was trying to off myself because I hated who I was. Because other people were trying to tell me who to be, who I was, things of that sort. And I just got to a place where I'm not going to let that happen anymore. I'm no longer sacrificing my happiness for people who are unhappy or people who are not comfortable enough in themselves to stand as who they really are.
And choose that. Growth. They choose that, yeah. And that's we can all choose that.
And that's fucking growth in so many ways. I say it. I talk about that myself because, you know, it took a minute to you know, not only accept exactly who I am, but to love who I am, and also look at a motherfucker and be like, check this out.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. You know what? You don't like this? Then you can go. I don't really. Why? I don't got time for this, man. You can fucking go.
I would be miserable if I lived my life for other people. There are so many people. You see it in movies. You see it in real life. We know some of these people who their every decision has been based off of, oh, what's my mom gonna say? Oh, what am I gonna say? Oh, what are the church people gonna think about me if I move like this or if I say this? And sometimes you just have to move because it's what you feel. Sometimes you have to move because it's hard. And I'm not saying that applies to everything, because some people will take that and they'll be like, oh, so because I feel like going to slap this person, I can't. No. Let me be clear. That's not what I meant. But if you feel in your heart, if you feel like wearing that purple shirt today and everybody else is wearing black and you know they're going to say something, do it anyway.
Do it, baby.
If it makes feel good, if you're not harming anybody, if you're not putting anybody in harm's way, if it's not bothering anybody, if the setting is appropriate, and if it's not too revealing to offend anybody, then baby, wear that purple shirt.
Exactly.
Right. Especially if it makes you happy.
What makes you comfortable. It's about what represents you, what truly represents what you want to show to people. You don't represent everybody, you represent you.
You represent you, and as long as you are showing up unapologetically in your authentic self, and you are showing up as your best self, nothing else matters. Let them people talk. They have something to say.
Yeah, and it's the responsible thing to do. Not only is it right, not only is it kumbaya, the good thing to do for your spirit, it's responsible, because I think we just wasting time if we're doing anything but that. And you don't know this, but you just answered my whole next question.
Really?
I really hope that anybody youth-wise, anybody that's under 20 is listening to this podcast on some real shit, because we're not sugarcoating anything. We're adults that obviously have gone through adolescence. And so we are adults that enjoy sex very much. We're talking openly about marijuana. We're talking about the world as it is. But we're also talking about that self-love. And so I love this. Like, this is the shit that you just can't make up. And it's just so empowering.
Also, the thing is that you realize when you get to a certain age, you realize that life recycles itself. Yes, there's a lot of, you know what I mean? Like, yes, if you were born, in the if you grew up in the 80s and whatnot, and the early 90s, but pre-cell phone, just the days, them days, you realize, yes, there's different technologies involved in the 2022s. Yes, there's definitely different situations, but a lot of shit recycles cycles itself. Like everything we go through is shit that, you know, our mothers went through, our grandmothers went through, you know what I mean? Our kids will go through, and so on and so forth. So when you hear somebody older than you, you know, talking, yeah, it might sound like, oh yeah, you old, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but at the same time, it eventually it comes to the point where it's like, oh shit, that person was right. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit, motherfuckers was telling me all along, and I should have been listening. Yes, yes, because we all go through it.
Listen to somebody. You got to listen to somebody, because somebody can tell anybody that's older than you, if they've lived past a certain point, or if they've lived past the place that you are currently in, they can tell you something. I always say, if I knew back in high school, we'll just say high school. If I knew back in high school what I knew now,
trust me.
I'd be running that bitch.
See, that's the age that you know that you knew you thought you knew every fucking thing based on friends. Based on your friends and all the motherfuckers you hung out with. You was just like, nah, I got my crew. I shit, you know what I'm saying? And I grew up, like I said, in the beeper days. I didn't have no beeper, so and I didn't have no phone. So therefore, if I stepped out and I stepped away, I couldn't get tracked. But when my oldest child got her first cell phone and she tried to go somewhere where she wasn't supposed to be, I quickly jumped on the phone and was like, hey, yo, nah, I see you. You ain't post. Nah, that's not. No, what store? What store? That's ain't no store over there. Ain't no store over there. I say turn around. I better see that orange bleep. Turn around. Oh yeah, the orange bleep is turning around. I'll see you when I get home. Yeah, I'll see you.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what I was gonna say earlier. I remember being that kid who I was severely bullied in school, and I remember I would come home crying, and my mom would be like, "Keep living." Like, you know, of course you have the consoling talking, you know, it's going to be fine. Tomorrow's a new day, yada, yada. But you also get the real, where it's just like, keep living. Yeah. And you find out, you know, why you went through what you went through. And you will find that, you know, karma didn't leave you out. No. Like if you're lucky, you'll get to watch. And I look at some of those people that used to tease me in school, baby, they look like shit. Like they look like shit. And it's like, baby, what you?
Yeah.
Like what happened? 50 Cent song, like, damn, honey.
Oh, I know it.
In high school, you was the man, homie. What happened to you?
Yeah. A testament, like, to see some of those people. It's like you got multiple kids. You don't know who your baby daddy is. You look ran over and ran through. Ooh. You look like you left the couch since we walked across this stage. Ooh. What have you done? You're like damn near 15 years, close enough. Like, what have you done? And them have not done anything.
And this is the reason why you cannot judge people, because again, you don't know what what I went through, and you couldn't dare figure out where I've been from where I'm going to. So therefore, mind your business, stay in your lane. Don't be coming around here talking no shit, because ain't nothing around here for you to be talking shit about. Because you ain't paying for nothing around here. You damn sure ain't supporting nothing around here. Get the fuck out of here.
You never know when the first shall be last and the last shall be first. That's Bible.
Dang. Talking about Bible, I went to church today, you guys, and a lot of the things that we're saying. Okay, let me back up, because I don't want to portray that I'm a church goer, because I'm not. I've said goodbye to organized religion a long time ago, but I feel this sense of the spiritual wanting for myself, right? And so praying, yes, I've never stopped praying. But I didn't cook any Thanksgiving meals. So I went to a church that was having one, just so I could, enjoy that, that menu. I like Thanksgiving menu. So I went over there, I met this really nice family, and they were just like, yeah, come and hear us sing at church. And I just was like, yeah, like, why not? You know what I mean? And I felt like this is a different thing. It's like, it's not like my mom forcing me to go to church or me being scared of hell or any bullshit. It's just like, you know what? I just want some good community vibes. I want to be around some old people that fiercely believe in God, yes, and that could probably teach me something. And so we were talking about a lot of this stuff. It's funny, but
That's
it's just, you know, those little sweet moments in life where it's like, things are not so bad, bitch. Like,
yeah,
just enjoy these little morsels, these blessings, because they're coming.
they're coming. You can always. I used to hang out at nursing homes because I used to listen. I used to hang out with the older people for their stories.
Yeah.
Just to hear, about their life experiences is just so. It takes you on an emotional ride because it's like the things that they went through, like they lived through Jim Crow. They lived through, when they used to actually put real cocaine in Coca-Cola when it was used,
Right.
where you could get, a bag of M&Ms for like a nickel. Like when I tell you they are overcharging us for a bag of M&Ms, that's a conversation for another day. And like when you hear these stories, even with
I
my
feel you because I love me some M&Ms, and I damn sure walked away when I saw that shit in the supermarket said $3.59. I was like, nah, I'm not picking up $3.59.
You know what I'm saying? Like even
Nah.
hanging with my grandmother and listening to her tell us stories about how she was, put in jail for protesting. Like those things, like when you hear those stories, like I said, they make you laugh. They make you really have a heart for humanity as a whole. But the person that's telling the story, because it's like, wow, like you were so resilient. Like you literally crawled so I could walk. Like, the fact, like I have to thank you because had you not gone through what you've gone through, I might not have been able to, have some of the rights that I currently have. So
Real shit.
it makes you emotional because it's like to know that these people went through some of the most traumatic things and they are, still living to tell the story, but also to know that, had I been born at this time, who knows what would have happened, who's to say I would be this free, this liberal. So, it definitely paints a very real picture and it puts life in perspective that, those moments are moments that you have to take and you have to really cherish those moments because people in a nursing home will definitely humble you and definitely put life in perspective that people do not last forever and you could be out of here at any given moment. So you have to handle every single day and every single second, every single breath, every heartbeat as a gift. Those are things that we so often and so commonly take for granted. And literally, if one thing goes wrong, you get that one blood clot, if they can't get to you in time, that's it. You don't get enough oxygen at that specific moment, that's it. Your heart skip more beats than it's supposed to, that's it. You know what I mean? Or if it slows down, that's it. So you just have to be gracious. You have to be gracious, be nice to people. You never know what a person's dealing with. Never know what a person's dealing
Kindness is
with. Another
cool.
mind of a person.
Definitely.
Just be nice. Just be nice.
Yeah.
That.
I
And
love
I feel what
that.
you're saying,
More
especially
marijuana and more kindness. Those two.
word. I feel what you're saying though, because really, that's one of the things that I definitely tried to push with my kids, with my grandmother, because my grandmother just passed on Labor Day. You know what I mean? And it was like they only got to meet her a couple of days. My oldest grew up with her, but my younger kids didn't really get to meet her too much and spend too much time with her. And of course, as kids, they was just like, oh, this is an old woman. We bored. We ready to go. But at the end of the day, every time when we hung out with her, I kept trying to let them know, like, yo, you don't understand that's 94 years of history right there. Like that's his fucking
whole
story right
library.
there. Like that right there. Like if like, you know what I mean? I used to tell, like, one of the things I used to tell him, like, yo, if she was, because at the time right before she died, she really, she didn't really have too much of her senses. But when she did have her senses, like one of the things she used to criticize me about, the things I would spend money on, like my nails, I got these extra ass nails, and she would be like, yo, you got a job to be paying for these nails? Like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? And that's the kind of sarcasm that, you know what I mean, I used to get, before, and you can't be sarcastic back. You got to be like,
yes, ma'am.
Yes, I do
You
have.
can't
You know what I mean? Or no, I don't have a job, but I really like to keep my nails pretty. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but you don't have a job. What is this? You're paying all kind of money for. You know what I mean? And I used to try to tell them, different stories about her. You know what I mean? So they would understand that this is the kind of history that definitely molds us, that keeps us going. And when you get older, you're gonna have, you know what I mean, it all passes down. Again, life recycles itself. Yes, we in a new age with new technologies, and of course the government is finding new ways to try to fucking kill us off with these bullshit ass medicines. But at the end of the day, we all going through the same fucking thing. You know what I mean? We all live in the same life. You know what I mean? Recycling over and over.
Yeah, we're all living the same life. And I was gonna say, I'm sorry to hear about your grandmother. Our grandparents are a gift. I'm probably gonna call my granddad off this call. Like literally, he's my last grandparent. But when I say grandparents are a gift, lean on them. Talk to. I know I said, we need 2 things, but I just thought about that. We actually need more of 3 things. We need more sex, more sex, more marijuana, and more kindness. But that's even when we're talking about elderly people. Like that's the type of sarcasm you can't make this stuff up. Like their sarcasm literally was it. We might have taken offense to it, but as we appreciated that, like that raw honesty, that raw uncut directness.
It hits you, and then you just go like, "Oh, okay, that's right. I can't respond."
You can't buy that.
I have to be respectful. You're right. Like, yes, I spend a lot of money. You're right.
Yes, that uncle was telling the truth. He wasn't just, talking shit. Like he was being serious. He's like, "This is what it is. You ain't got no job. Like how you."
He's concerned for your budgeting. That's all. She wanted to make sure you were straight.
So yeah, like he wanted to make sure his life insurance was being well spent. So
but oh man, I gotta tell you, this is a great episode. We absolutely thank you for making your time, and we definitely want to send our condolences, because I remember that we had to reschedule this because you had a death in your family too. So we definitely want to send our condolences to you. You know what I mean? Because especially during this time, because I feel like this whole fucking corona shit was created to fucking kill off people, and it's like the main people that they wanted to get rid of is us.
I was in North Carolina. I was in North Carolina being bad a few years ago. And I went to this diner. It was late. I had several blunts and I was feeling my beat. And I went, I was feeling my oats. And I went to this diner and I sat down at the bar, and there's this man, and we started conversing, having conversation. Well, I learned that he works for a form of Secret Service. I won't say which sector, but just protecting the innocent. And I was asking him, where all this COVID stuff came from. Like, how did this even get started? Is there going to be another phase of it? How long are we going to be in lockdown? I was trying to probe and ask what I could. And one thing that he did tell me, he was just like, it was created in a lab. It was actually in the lab to benefit people with respiratory issues. And it was one of those things that got out of hand. It was an experiment that got out of hand, and so, but in future plans, what needed to happen, he was just saying, start growing your own stuff. Get you some seeds, take that rainwater. It's beneficial, start growing your own stuff. And that's really all he gave me. He gave me a lot without saying too much.
Right.
And that, I appreciate that. It's like we're intellectual creatures. Like they can only hold this blindfold only so long, to where it's like, okay, spirit does not mean. When this shit came out, I automatically knew it was on some bullshit. A lot of people did. And I wasn't afraid. It was just like, oh, here we are doing it again. We had the swine flu and we had a bunch of other outbreaks. Even AIDS was created in the lab. So it's
You know?
like, I don't have very much faith in our government at all. But when you share, when people, and God bless that man for just being real about something, it's like, dude, give us some fucking truth. Like, so we can make some decisions for those that are conscious enough that want to make some decisions. Otherwise, do your experiments, but give us a chance, those that are conscious enough to want to like make our own decisions. You know what I'm saying? I think at least
Exactly.
Attached to their money. Because
Because
that's
it's
their
all about the pharmaceutical.
it's about the money.
It's about
They
the
want
money.
them to be making all the money. Again, they from this shit started, the main thing that they were shunning was anything natural that you could use to fight this shit off. They was like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. You need our help. You need our help. No, fuck you. We don't need no natural shit is the way. And literally that's what it is, because and that's why even the pharmaceuticals are fucking trying to stop weed from being fucking legal, because they know that weed and medical marijuana is definitely is one of the things that's been helping without all the bullshit that they've been pushing. You know what I'm saying?
Actually healing.
The bottom line is the dollar. We want to continue to make a dollar. And it's just, and again, the doctors are like mechanics. They're not fixing the fucking problem. They just gonna patch you up and know that you're gonna be back in a couple of months. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna be back in a couple of months.
Yep, you're gonna be back in a couple of months. And see, I'll even take it a step further. COVID happened, and then it was like, oh, everybody just kind of gradually started going outside because they got tired of it. And so it's like, did we ever have an official ending to said pandemic? Nobody ever talked about it.
No.
And not for nothing, Atlanta was one of the states that there was at least Atlanta was one of the most places that they was most talking about as far as, letting people outside. Florida never gave two fucks. Florida said, what? What? No, the strippers need to get on the pole. Fuck you mean? What? Yep.
And then monkeypox.
Right.
That, like, we literally have not had a conversation about monkeypox since this summer.
You know,
since when, where did fentanyl come from? Like, whatever the little powder substance that they've been talking about, like, where did that come from? Because prior to, the only thing that we were really worried about our marijuana being laced with was cocaine. And now,
and now they're trying to put fentanyl in fucking weed. And again, because they not killing enough people enough by putting fentanyl in coke. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Like, again, it's all an agenda, and the agenda is the dollar. Agenda is the bottom dollar.
And whoever's listening to this, you got those gems right there. I was listening. Plant your own shit, man. Let's plant our own shit as much as we can, at least. You know what I mean? Well, but anywho, I really enjoyed this so much.
Oh
DiiJai.
my God, this was
I feel like you are the shit.
Want to give you a chance to tell people how to contact you socially. You know what I mean? Because of course we'll make sure and put any links, any links or anything or in the description when we drop this episode.
No,
holla at DiiJai.
You can find me on all of my social media at DiiJai The Singer. My YouTube is just DiiJai. But you can find, if you just type in DiiJai anywhere, I will pop up. I am Googleable.
That is the shit. That is the best statement right there. I am Googleable, motherfucker.
Yes, it is me. DiiJai. You can find me. I will be there.
He even smells it all yummy too.
Listen, I want more.
It all.
Come on in. Everybody's adopted, so come on in.
I love it.
Shit, and on that note, we have ended season 4, and season 4 is out the door, yo. Man, we always do anything. I appreciate you, DiiJai The Singer. You know what I mean? We definitely had a great episode. Thank you so much. Motherhood, sex, marijuana.
In the building with DiiJai The Singer and a lot of other things. He does a lot of other things.
See, because I'm a little high. Just excuse the fact that my mouth is a little high. You know what I'm saying?
You're perfectly fine.
I mean,
fine.
Thank you, Queen.
Oh no, it's not berry pie. What I've been smoking. It don't even matter. We ending the show. Bye bye.
All right,